Welcome back, Dungeoneers. It's Sunday afternoon, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to play Dungeons and Dragons. You're watching Dice and Dungeons, and I'm here at the table with...
I'm David Wong. I play knees at Tabaxi Joint.
I'm Nicole Bates. I play Soria on elbow.
There you go. Same wavelength.
Changeling joint.
I'm Greg. I play also as Ralph, a Furbog fighter.
I'm Alexis Bates and body part.
And if you want to use some of your body parts, use your fingers to type in www.patreon.com/DiceandDungeons to check out what?
It's good. You did good.
To check out our Patreon. It's the best way. It's the best way to support the show.
And the best way to use your fingers.
The best thing you can do with your fingers.
It's way better than some things you could do.
There's a variety of tiers that you can subscribe to support us, and there's all sorts of things like behind-the-scenes videos and DM notes. So check it out at patreon.com/DiceandDungeons.
Where did DM go?
I don't know. Did she go to Vinton?
What?
Vinton, Iowa.
God, I wonder if there's a cool store in Vinton.
I bet there's a tabletop
If
game.
there was, it would be called Geekified, I think.
Uh-huh.
Do you think they have a whole bunch of in-store and online orders they can do?
Probably. You should
Wow.
do that
You should
for right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
go-
There could be an online auction right now with something you want.
We don't
They
know.
do it on their Facebook and
So-
Discord or, places like that. Places that
Do we-
aren't Vinton.
Do we need to clap to bring the DM back?
No.
we should
Is it
just
like
roll.
a Tinkerbell thing?
No.
Oh.
Vinton's like a Tinkerbell thing.
Oh.
Should we roll?
Every time you go
Can
in,
we say
if you
that?
go to Vinton, you can fly.
We can't say it ourselves, can we?
No.
Well, this could go on for a while.
So,
I think we won. I think if the DM leaves, we just win.
We
with
won
that,
the game.
Dungeoneers,
We won. Game's over. You can find a new podcast now.
with that, Dungeoneers,
Oh, we're going to be playing?
let's roll.
Okay.
Last week on Dice and Dungeons, Midnight Brunch entered the Ulfstein Grotfell encampment, which was inside the temple in Tzizitstan. They witnessed the horrifying fallout of the Grotfell leadership's indifference to, as far as they could tell, almost every living being. A city in ruins and a temple with crushed bodies means little to Glenvie in her quest to secure power. We rejoin our heroes as they make their way through the temple grounds. Now, when you left off, you were in a fairly large room. By happenstance, do you all remember what that room is? Or do you need me to go over it?
It is a large room with a lot of traffic, disorganized, smaller chapel beds scattered throughout for refugees. There's a lot of chatter of Grotfell soldiers.
Okay.
With no new news. I wrote down no new news.
No new news?
No new news.
No new news at all?
No. But we listen carefully anyway.
Fair enough. Is there anything specific that you want to be listening for? You'd kind of had the standard, like, what's going on with Glenvie, what's going on with the operations to Shiranoon, and there hadn't been anything else. based on what you've seen in the previous rooms, is there anything you want to add?
Is there any like spice cake talk?
You'd already been listening to that. You brought it up last time.
We haven't heard much about any. We heard a little bit early on, but we haven't heard anything recently about any fungal incursions.
Oh, that's true. An abomination. They said there's an abomination somewhere.
You don't hear any of that chatter here. Most of what's being talked about here, just how they're sore. There's a lot of beds. There's a lot of people's, little personal camping areas. And so, they are doing their best to nurse their minor injuries, recover from hard labor. It's pretty obvious as you're looking around here that although obviously the people of Tzizitstan are clearly the victims of these atrocities, the Grotfell soldiers aren't getting very good treatment either.
Should we quietly encourage them to unionize?
Yes, we should.
Rise up in insurrection.
Go for it, Badger.
Oh.
You're the one who can persuade people.
Yeah.
Do they listen to badgers?
I don't know.
Do it.
Let's find out.
If a talking badger came up to you, would you listen?
Yeah, actually, I would. If a badger came up to me and was like, "Follow me, David Wong," I'd be like,
You
"Yeah,
should-
sure."
Too bad.
David Wong, you should unionize.
I am.
There's nothing.
Or do we?
I mean, what
do
could
we have
possibly
some
go
union
wrong?
cards?
No.
Why don't we just have those? They just like sell those at like the.
Union
shop?
store?
Is there a print shop in here?
No.
In the temple? No.
No.
They seem very industrious.
Do you need me to write some up quick?
I mean, at least
You know,
there's not
if-
one in the temple right now.
If you were successful in getting them to be interested in doing this, some of them would be resourceful and they would get a way of getting.
You think there's going to be
people signed up.
go-getters in this group?
Let's
Yeah.
find out.
We look for the goiest getter in the building.
Someone that everybody seems to be listening to.
There has to be a charismatic
some
person in this
proactive.
group.
It doesn't
charismatic-
matter if they're, saying anything nonsensical.
Who am I
or
naturally drawn to
as a badger.
realistic.
as a
Oh,
badger?
The
That's
one.
the test.
Who am I naturally drawn to that's not food related?
Oh, I was gonna.
I'm going to get that out there.
Okay.
Well, it would make sense that if a badger was drawn to this person, since badgers are basically underground miners.
I mean, I'm
that's what
still
these
9.
and that's what these people are doing, that it would fit. That whoever the badger was attracted to would also be attractive to other miners. Right? Go find out.
Well, do we see someone like that? Is there someone that fits the bill as a charismatic underdog? Like a Zoolander person in this, He went to the mines? Like that movie, Minecraft.
Charismatic underdog is Zoolander?
Yeah, actually,
He
yeah,
was at
that's...
the top of his game.
Yeah. It feels like it's been a while since you watched Zoolander.
He was at the top of his game.
Remember, this is Zoolander, not Zoolander 2. No one watched that.
Well, is there?
Is there a Zoolander?
I look.
We do a Zoolander check. I got a 10 on my Zoolander check.
I got a 5.
Hey, you
Is
know
Homer
what?
gonna look?
Sure. There's a Zoolander
Dwarf.
dwarf. It's just a dwarf. He's got sort of spiky puffed hair, and he's constantly doing this.
Is that Blue Mithril?
Yeah, sure. Blue mithril. Just. Now you have it.
Hello, Zoolander type.
Are you going to be the dog that catches the car? You just don't know what to do at this
No,
point?
I'm going to be the badger that talks to the Zoolander.
Well,
I initiated conversation.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, have you ever considered unionizing?
Why would I need to be in a union?
Well, you're working in very hard conditions, so you should be able to bargain for better pay and safety.
What would me having a romantic partner have anything to do with that?
What?
A union.
A union. You have to.
No.
No, I mean like a labor union. That thing you're doing right now with the labor.
I don't even have a relationship yet, and you want a union where, like, someone's going to be in labor? We have to at least have some dinner before then. I don't need to go straight into labor.
Okay, you can have a dinner with all your labor buddies and talk about
I
being
don't know what you think I'm into, but I'm not interested in your weird labor cult.
It is kind of like a cult, but in a good way.
I don't need a whole lot of babies around me. Okay, that's weird, and I'm not into
Of course it's
that.
weird. You're in a mine.
This is going really well.
It's going great.
Yes.
This
What if I
place-
can tell you?
This place isn't yours. It's done, and we're just here right now. Okay.
But it could be your labor.
I told you I don't want any babies. Now go away.
Maybe you picked the wrong charismatic person.
Yes, I was not the great charismatic person.
You maybe should have chosen the most disgruntled person.
No, I think you need to find good balance.
You asked for a Zoolander character. You got a Zoolander character.
I am not complaining about the Zoolander character. My party is complaining about the Zoolander character.
No, we're just complaining about the effectiveness of the Zoolander character persuasion.
Before he walks away,
Sure.
I cast suggestion and say, maybe you do want to have a lot of babies here.
That's where you go? That's it?
Look, you could have pitched in with an idea and you didn't.
I pitched the idea of forming a
Well,
union.
what's the save on it?
It's been a while since we cast suggestion on.
Yeah, it has been. We used to do that a lot.
That's an 18 wisdom. He cannot have a high wisdom.
I didn't say you did. I still got to roll. Well, that ain't doing it. Okay, so where does he go with this?
I mean,
That
I
was
know
his
that
defense. Now he wants to have babies, right?
I mean, only if, like, there is. If it sounds achievable
He absolutely believes it is achievable to make babies.
and it'll last for 8 hours.
Wow, this dormitory is not a place where we're going to want to be for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, well, we're hopefully we'll be gone
Let's
within
go.
8 hours.
Guys,
let's
that was
leave
real
now.
weird.
I'm not. I'm
So-
talking to the Zoolander type right now.
No,
If
you
we
won't
Do
go.
you know what, Funny Badger Man? I do think we should have lots of labor. So I'm gonna go out there and make the labor happen. I quit this stupid army. I don't need it anymore.
Well, it's one last thing we have to fight.
That sure was weird, Nine.
I look around.
You're right. That was weird. I'm gonna find the next charismatic person.
You're gonna
How
come
about we
again.
move on?
I look around the room. Are there any exits other than the one we came in? Don't tell us there's no exit.
The Zoolander
Oh, yes,
type. You can
I
follow
often-
the Zoolander type into the exit.
I often make dungeons that have no exit to them.
Hey, you made a room with no exit, and I got into it one time.
You did.
I said I often make dungeons,
Not rooms.
not rooms.
So,
There is one. It's on the north wall.
just one.
Other than the one you came in from, yes.
Well, that's an entrance.
Not from this side.
It's depending on your point of view.
Let's-
Is that what you're telling me?
It is.
Let's go through the north wall.
Yeah.
I will zoom in on the map here to illustrate. So,
Not a very nice door.
How do you know? It could be the best part of the room.
It really
see this
ties
area
it.
down here? That's where you've been.
Yep.
And then this is the door that you haven't gone through yet.
You are Hohen. Check out the door, please.
For traps?
There's like people streaming through it constantly.
Yeah, there's not even like an actual. It's like a doorway.
I just don't know
They
when to
can't
go
possibly
first.
think someone would be stupid enough to sneak in here, let alone several
Why would
groups
anyone?
of people.
Why would
Okay,
anyone
I am-
sneak in?
I'm humaning.
Oh,
Talk
you
about what were some human phrases? Mention your last name, Peacoat, a lot.
Talk about how you don't want your pea coat to get caught on the door handle.
Yeah, humans love that.
Oh man, I hope that my peacoat doesn't get caught on the door handle.
When in doubt, just say, "Man, I could really go for a BLT."
Oh
a thing,
man,
humans.
Extra mayo.
extra mayo,
These are all human things, I assume.
extra mayo.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Has to be in relation to a BLT.
somebody tosses a jar of mayo at Holwyn.
No.
And that person is nines.
Ooh.
Nines.
One of the people trying to be helpful.
Can I like
One
make
of
it?
the Gratfells.
Can I make like a mayo hose with my with my knife?
I love.
It's the final boss getting through this door.
I love that.
Just getting through.
You're supposed to be kind of sneaking through here by just not being noticed, not drawing a lot of attention, uncovering some information as you have been, and then
Yeah, so why is Holwyn
And you were
yelling
doing-
about mayo?
you were doing a nice job, and then we start this session, and Nine's just like, "Yo, Zoolander, let's find us a Zoolander, let's do it."
I want someone easily manipulated
So you are Holwyn.
Well,
and highly charismatic.
What's on the other side of the door?
it looks like a hallway with a whole bunch of rubble at the end of it, but there's another door that everyone else is going through.
Oh. Well, let's go through.
But hey, good Mayo Day, am I right?
Classic human talk.
We follow Holwyn.
Classic.
We follow Holwyn along, but not too close. We don't want to look like we're like together. We want to look like we're
We don't want to be in some sort of union.
no,
That would be make
Let's lock
way too many
arms.
babies.
Let's all
So-
lock arms.
no.
We'll skip down.
But
Okay.
I'm still carrying nines because Badger.
Yeah, I came back after Zoolander left.
Yeah.
The Zoolander type. It wasn't actually Zoolander.
You don't know that. You don't have his name.
What's through the door, please?
Fine, we're gonna go find the guy we just like tricked into leaving.
No, we're going through the door.
We go through the next.
I want to go through the door.
Is there-
When are they gonna get to the fireworks factory?
as I get to the door, I just do a quick review of overview of the rubble. Is there anything?
Are you gonna go mining in the rubble?
No, it looks like that section is pretty
Just rubble.
undisturbed. It's thick rubble. You don't even see any light coming through from the other side.
I shrug my shoulders at the rubble and go through the door.
Are there any like things blocked by iron bars by any chance that we can spend about 20 minutes trying to get through?
No, just Zoolanders. So it'll take about 15 minutes of distracting.
Okay.
We go through the door.
All right.
Holwyn's first.
Hillman's first. We follow the human.
As
Just walking along like a human.
well,
How human are you?
That was one of those aftershock.
That was one of
Yeah.
the, that was a good human thing. Yeah. Woo.
didn't realize that was going to happen. So, you enter a long room with some tall windows at the very end of it. It's quite a strange space to enter. I want you to picture, as best you can, a room that's about 100 feet long. And the only natural lighting is two very tall windows at the end of it. And it's only, 20 feet wide.
Is there any unnatural lighting?
Oh, yes, there's, illumination sources, just like there has been throughout the entire temple. There's interior illumination sources. But the sort of juxtaposition of a very long room that is comparatively narrow, with just two big windows at the end and a bunch of lighting, it creates sort of an odd disorientation in here. There's nothing magical. It's just a very funky room to be in. The ceilings are even a bit higher than the other rooms. And the floor is a finely finished wood that has been polished and then sealed. On one wall, the southern one, which is the one on your right as you enter, it's mostly mirrors along the whole length of the wall. And there are many chairs stacked up high against said wall. And on the north, there are 3 doors. You know, this looks a lot like like a dance studio or something. I used to take some dance lessons when I was younger.
How come you never dance with me?
You've danced with Holland before.
I don't really dance very often.
You two have definitely danced before.
Yeah,
But-
sure we did.
I can go back through the notes.
why-
You started learning the waltz from Holland.
Oh, that's
I
right.
wonder out loud.
It's been a while since we did that.
Why would there be a dance studio in a temple?
Is there some sort of
Yeah,
informational plaque in the door we just walked into?
Like
No.
a sign that says mysterious
This is dedicated
dance studio
to-
or
Why wouldn't there be a dance studio in a temple?
No, there's really nothing on the door.
This is like a community center, basically, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
a
rec-
rec center,
like a rec
basically.
center?
Yeah.
I mean, temples are where a lot of us just gather for our community, where we have a lot of, public shared spaces. So,
is there anything unusual about the mirrors? Are they like twist or distort or anything?
Like fun mirrors in the
Yeah.
temple?
no,
That would be fun.
Yeah, well, it's in the
Are
name.
they all intact despite the earthquakes?
no.
Oh.
There's
So-
a couple that are just fully shattered, but a lot of them have cracks.
A lot of bad luck here. So there's way down at the far end, it's just windows, right? When you go there, there's not like an opening window or a
Yeah, I mean,
passage or anything.
they do crack open a little bit, but
Yeah, just okay. So there's 3 doors on the other side, opposite the mirrors.
yeah.
Are the other grotfills going through any particular one of them?
The vast majority of the traffic is on the very last door.
But some people are going in the other 2.
Every once in a while you see someone going in there, but it's pretty quick trips in and out of each of those places.
Wonder what that is.
Oh, why don't we check them out?
Yeah, we go in there with
We
authority.
go in the first door.
Okay, sure.
Human inspectors! We're inspecting to see if there's humans in there.
What do you... I don't think that's a thing.
Human inspect.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take you very long to figure out why no one really stays in the first room very long.
Is it a bathroom?
Bathroom.
No, it's just a broom closet.
Why are they
going
coming?
in at all?
To
Are they
get
coming out with brooms?
Or putting brooms away?
I mean, it's just like some cleaning supplies, some brooms and stuff. Every once in a while, someone goes in, gets something or puts something away, goes out.
Is there anything buried at the back of the broom closet, like an old, pageant decorations or, things like that?
Sort of. There's the occasional this is clearly some sort of decoration that gets put out from time to time, but it stays in here. You get the sense that they probably forgot to put them away the last time that they packed everything up for a holiday.
What's the coolest looking thing?
Yeah, what's the coolest holiday?
I don't know anything about the holidays of this god. Stern Grim.
Is this the Temple of Sturmgrimi?
I don't remember the name of the god. I don't believe in him.
There's nothing particularly interesting. It's just some polished lamps that have a fair bit of dust on them at this point.
No, paper mache pickaxe.
No,
Okay.
no, just very ornamental things.
All right.
Is there anything that would look good on a badger?
Everything looks good on a badger.
I mean, it's mostly like cleaning supplies and some mops and brooms.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of like a silvery garland kind of thing, like a boa.
There's some feather dusters that might be kind of interesting as like a hat.
I don't think I want a feather duster. Is the mop better than the mop we currently have?
No.
We had. I can answer that one. We head to the next door down.
Okay. The next door down is a full kitchen. And when I say a full kitchen, I mean like a commercial kitchen space. There's easily enough cooking surfaces and prep areas to make meals for hundreds.
Mm-hmm. Are there any meals there now?
There are a couple of people cooking. They've got some big pots over flame. It does look like the supplies are limited. You can easily see how there would have once been herb hooks to dry. There would have been bins for potatoes and tomato stacks and onions and all sorts of, your standard kitchen things. But at the moment, it's not quite as warm and welcoming as that would have been.
So you who are cooking.
Huh?
Yes, you who are cooking, what is it that you are attempting to make with these meager ingredients?
Come in and insult them.
Would you like some potatoes?
Why are we giving them potatoes?
Because you juice the potatoes so well.
Yeah, but not for them.
Well, yeah.
We've got a couple. What do you guys want?
Could our human friend get a BLT?
Or at least some mayo?
I think that's the only thing humans can eat.
Oh, I sure am human hungry.
It's like bamboo, right? With pandas.
Yeah.
Mayo.
They go to those BLT gardens.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. You are as human as any human I have ever met.
Humans can't mate until they have enough BLT.
So could we get a BLT for our friend?
Well, we haven't had any L or T in a while.
Lettuce, tomato.
Huh. That's a neat knife.
It is a neat knife. It's mine. I hold it tight.
What else can you make? Or is it just lettuce and tomato?
What do I get out of it if I make it?
Oh, well, I mean, it's kind of neat, but if I can only make lettuce and tomato...
Potato.
That's it, a potato. I bet you couldn't even make a radish.
Truffle.
Truffle? Any pig can get a truffle.
That's objectively not true. Bamboo.
Make a radish.
Radish.
Not bad radish.
Oddish. Yeah, the Pokemon.
I don't think
It's a
that works.
vegetable.
I don't think you can make living things.
I don't think you can make...
vegetables are
Well, it's just an...
I don't think you can make copyrighted figures.
I can if
Only-
you use your
only
imagination.
things in the public
I don't need to
So-
get into a lawsuit with the Pokemon Company
I
because
think we can win. They're not very
means-
litigious.
That means you. That means you can only make generic corn, not like Monsanto corn.
Oh.
What?
So what is in it for nines?
Yeah, can you give us some insider info about what's going on? Huh?
what do you mean? What's going on here? What do
Like,
you want to know, huh?
So wait,
Wait,
so we
why are
make
you guys
so we make
asking?
we just
NGOs,
transferred,
right?
Well, then why don't you go ask your commanders?
Because they're jerks.
Well, yeah, but they're your commanders. By the way, these two aren't like they don't look like Grotfell soldiers.
They're like
They're the
hired, contracted.
ones.
Yeah, you're getting the sense that basically every single outfit that has the need for, like, a chef to take care of anything is just cooks.
Is there like a chef's mercenary guild that gets hired out?
No, it's just always through your cousin. I don't know why it's your cousin, but it's always...
My cousin?
No, just like your cousin.
So how's that BLT coming?
Oh. We don't have any bacon.
You said you had everything except the lettuce and tomato.
No, I said we haven't seen L or T in a while. We did have bacon.
Just
The commanders ate all of it.
make it replace the bacon with mayo.
I love mayo. Yum yum mayo.
Can I get that on
really gross. Lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
It's a human thing.
You need
I
some.
don't think so.
What are you talking about?
You know, I once served a whole bunch of humans at like a big banquet. Some sort of humany thing.
Yeah.
Not one of them had mayo.
None of them had mayo?
No, we're bacon.
Oh, then just a LT sandwich, please.
But can you make bacon with that thing?
Why is everyone looking at me about that?
They
I'm just
asked-
getting all this free food.
They asked you a question.
Yes,
You
it
have to-
can make.
We're looking for your answer.
It can make bacon. I put my knife back.
Well, I don't believe you unless I see it. Seeing is believing after all.
Insight check. I think they're.
You have to roll, and it's like
You just shout insight check. As though that does.
I got a 29 insight check.
Okay, you're pretty sure they don't believe that.
How could they not believe me? I've made everything else.
you've only made vegetables.
Yeah, you've only made lettuce
my-
and tomato. The L and the
And
T.
radishes.
I make a
and-
single strip of bacon. Bacon.
Is that all the bacon you want for your friend?
Well, I'm just proving I can make bacon.
Not very much.
Just keep
I'm-
the strand
I
coming.
keep making a single strand of bacon.
Oh, really long bacon.
Maintaining eye contact with them.
It's like squeezing out toothpaste, but like continue. Yeah.
Crest bacon strip.
You can't make copyright.
No, you can't. You can just make bacon.
I don't think they actually make bacon strips.
I know, but you can't.
We can't claim they do.
No. And now they might, and then you'd be in real trouble.
They'd be in trouble. They'd be stealing my idea.
Oh.
I'll sue them for it.
All right.
How much bacon did I make before they said they believe me? Or they just never say they believe me?
I can't believe this exists, yet I also can. There is indeed bacon flavored toothpaste.
Delete.
Delete it.
Delete.
Is that for pets?
Come on, our friend needs a BLT stat. They're,
I can see their humanness escaping from them.
they need to get that through all three of their human stomachs before they can fully digest it.
Oh, I'm so hungry with my 3 stomachs as a human.
I use minor illusion to like make a ghost version of Hellwind, like trying to escape from the body. And it just like goes brr.
That's normal human reaction to being hungry.
All right, fine, with that bacon strip. I've got to fold this one a lot.
Make a bacon weave. Back when the internet was fun, people made bacon weaves.
I once made a bacon weave.
How come you don't do that? Is it because it's disgusting to make and it's not actually that tasty?
It doesn't improve it at all.
It just looks
It's just
funny.
bacon.
I mean, I did the bacon weave, put it in the oven, cooked it, then we took it out, and it was just
Bacon.
it was
A weave of bacon.
just bacon.
We also like barely ever eat bacon.
Like anyone can say just bacon, really.
I mean,
I mean, if we said that
Well,
in like 2005, the internet would be upset. But now it's just like, yeah, it's just kind of
Yeah,
bacon.
it's just bacon.
yeah.
Hot wings are the new hotness.
All right.
still?
Whole or pea coat.
Yeah, how's that? Is the sandwich done yet?
Chaz
Oh,
pea coat.
sure. Yeah.
Are they going to give us anything in exchange for all these ingredients we graciously created for them?
A
right.
sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't get the sandwich.
Thanks. Here you go, pea coat. Chaz pea coat.
Oh, thanks. My human stomachs are so hungry. Mayo.
And with that bite, the ghost of Hellwind goes back into the body and dissipates as I end the spell.
Such a big sandwich.
All right, let's go. You can eat it on the go.
Can you? Can you do that with a sandwich?
They can.
Humans can.
Humans can.
How does a sandwich get bigger every time I look at it?
It's a magical sandwich.
It's not magical.
It's pretty magical.
You made it with magic.
Ingredients are magic, but,
Yeah.
but you didn't make magic with your magic.
All right, we head to the last door.
Wait, we didn't answer their tragic backstory.
We're here for the Grotfells. We
Yeah.
know it.
It's not that. They're getting paid for and they're not in any danger, I think.
They're about
Well,
to be
until
in
we got
danger.
in here, then.
They're not in any danger.
literally-
Says the group coming to destroy this entire
I
operation.
literally have explosion as part of the operation.
They don't know that. So it's not part of their backstory. It's their forestory.
We'll come back and ask them after the explosion.
After they,
We don't need to
We-
know
we had
after
to
that.
know
Where's the reason they have a tragedy?
we head to the last door.
Okay.
As I'm being pulled away, I ask what they think happened to Fervin.
Choked on a sandwich.
What a human way to die.
Oh, and be careful.
Orphan was a dwarf.
Yeah, but it's a human way of dying.
Better take small bites.
Can no one get
Too
through
well.
the door with that sandwich?
Yeah.
Wow. Human engineering.
Just tilt it on the side.
Very human.
Very human.
Do all
Man.
humans hide their tail?
Yes.
Okay, we head through the last door.
This is just the absolute strangest.
What?
What do you mean, what?
None of us know anything about humans.
And I haven't seen my tail in years.
Yeah, you have a little badger too.
Yeah.
Although you can turn into nines for like an hour.
Yeah, and I can't just like turn around. Badgers are pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have looked in one of those mirrors on where you're not.
We head through the last door.
Oh, we're still in the room with mirrors. Check out your tail.
I have so many of them as I look in the broken mirror.
Alright, now we head through the last door.
Yeah.
You head through the last door. And although this space is quite an unfamiliar one to both Ulseth and Soria, the purpose is quite plain. It is a hospital. There are a number of beds spread out along this long room. All of them against one wall, or just slightly set back from it. Some simple drapes are hung between each bed for whatever small modicum of privacy they can be afforded. All of the beds are filled, and it appears that they are all filled with Grotfell soldiers. Each of them looks to be in dire straits, shivering, shaking, gnashing teeth. But each one of them, regardless of other symptoms they're displaying, has a cold, blank expression on their face. No one actually seems to be tending to them right now. There's no apparent nurses or doctors, just the patients in the bed. As you look longer, you notice that about a third of them are strapped down to their beds, unable to extricate themselves. There's only one other door in this room. It's on the north side, against the western wall. That's what you see in here.
Alright, so first, for the record, I believe Ulseth and I did see a hospital in care home in the military base.
I think we, at least an infirmary.
I believe you might have seen something similar, but not
And-
quite this setup.
And we saw also in care home at the temple where we revived that person.
Well, yes, you did see
So
A room.
multiple care home based infirmaries.
in the temple. It was more like just a room.
Right. How many people are on the beds? Are we looking
Well,
at,
in each bed, there's only one person.
I meant, like, are there, like, 8 beds full of people? Is it, like, 30? What?
About a dozen.
About a dozen?
This is a good place to start our union. They're probably very angry about.
Who would be most successful in asking questions of these poor people?
Well, why don't I look them over?
Hey, excuse me, what's happened to you?
What type of patient are you trying to talk to?
A conscious one.
You go to one that has their eyes open, which is the only indicator of consciousness that you seem to be able to discern at this time.
What, with my 5 medicine check?
I will also do a medicine check on this person.
Ooh, I'll do mine.
15.
22.
Rolled badly.
I hoped that would happen, and so it did.
I rolled a 6.
Did you guidance yourself?
No.
Why not?
Because I forgot.
Okay, so Soria walks over, sees a pale patient. This one looks to be suffering with some sort of cold sweats. They're shaking slightly. Their whole face damp with moisture. You look at this patient and say, if I had to guess, it looks like it's some sort of infection. Wong walks over.
No,
Not Wong.
Wong walked into the session. Like,
Yeah,
hey guys, it's me, human David Wong. Oh, what a delicious BLT this is.
Oh, no, how's the mayo?
You got the mayo perfect.
Extra mayo, just the way I like it, being human. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this place now. Goodbye.
As David Wong leaves the room, Nines enters.
Okay.
Nines, come back.
What did I miss?
We need your medical expertise.
Oh, just some weird human with a lot of hair on his face and head.
This is some sort of infection?
Nines looks at the patient and goes, well, I think there's something wrong with his lymphatic system. Perhaps something specific with the amygdala. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to perform some sort of surgery to be certain of this.
You are Nines.
But based on how flaccid the skin is, I worry that they're becoming dangerously dehydrated.
You are Nines.
What?
When did you learn those words?
Oh no, I found it in a book once.
Oh, you read those books?
Oh, I just saw it in the book.
Do they appear to be in, like, stasis? You said they were, like, frozen and staring?
Oh, no, not stasis.
Oh, okay.
They're just a blank expression, just staring off into space.
A snap in front of their eyes, you know, how to get everyone, the universal way of getting someone's attention.
There is no response.
I detect thoughts.
Okay.
My helmet whirls on and goes woo, 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 and I put my fingers on my head and just stare intently at their eyes and just be like, detect thoughts.
You don't have to do any of that, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Especially on a badger.
So, I hadn't thought too much about what would be going through their heads right now,
Meow, 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 meow.
but I believe the best expression for their thoughts would be something along the lines of,
If I'm going to die, I really hope I see a vanishing badger.
eat, consume,
Oh.
food, eat, consume, food,
Is that bad?
thrive,
Well, I repeat that
grow.
Okay.
to
Eat.
I just whisper it to Hillman, so no one else can hear.
Then I have no thoughts on this.
Okay, I was like, that's a weird thought. Eat, consume, thrive.
These are
Yeah, I mean, that's a human. I would have thought it'd just been mayo.
these are infected.
Infected with what?
The fungus.
What fungus? What do you mean?
The fungus that we always encounter all the time. That takes things over.
It's not ringing a bell.
Like that stuff outside of a Lyradel?
The stuff outside of Lyradel, the stuff in the mountains underneath between Ironvale and Careholm, the stuff down on Risto.
Well, I wasn't there for that.
Well, we've encountered this fungus multiple times. It takes over the nervous system of creatures and compels them.
Well, that doesn't sound good. What can we do?
For these patients,
Yeah.
possibly a restoration will help, but outside of healing magic, I don't think too much.
Well, a restoration spell isn't that complicated. Why are they still sitting here suffering?
They probably didn't feel like devoting the resources to it.
Are they all like that, or is it just this particular one that's having those thoughts?
Some thoughts are more coherent and sensible for a typical humanoid patient. Thinking about their family, thinking about the pain they're in, hope they make it through, how uncomfortable they are.
Is any of them thinking about
Fear.
forming a union?
There's some thoughts of wishing that they would all rise up and kill the dragon families, yeah. That's as close as it gets to a union.
Should we talk to that one?
If you want to, I'm gonna look at what I can do about.
So, should we find out more about this fungus?
I mean, I don't think they have many resources on it. I think we're probably the most qualified people to talk about this fungus.
I mean, where it is and how to avoid it potentially.
We gave that Dole. Has he made any progress on countering it?
And not that you are aware of, at least
All
at
right,
this time.
Let's take the party over to a bathroom and we'll talk to Dole.
Well, would a fungal infection would be considered a disease? I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will try and cast Lesser Restoration on one of these figures. One of
Okay.
the patients.
Sure. Are you going for one of the really sick ones, or one of the less sick ones?
I'll start with a less sick one.
Sure. The lesser restoration, it sort of slowly radiates from the center of their body out towards the edges. And you see the color slowly return to their face. It's not much at first, but it's clearly shifting. They're shaking and sweating reduces.
I use detect thoughts on him.
At first, you still hear those same thoughts that you'd previously heard. Eat, consume, thrive. But then, it starts to just drift into this unconscious sort of chatter.
Eat, consume, BLT, extra mayo.
This isn't a human.
It's, it sounds a little bit like someone talking in their sleep. I don't know if you've ever heard someone talk in their sleep. It's usually nonsensical phrases, disjointed sentences, things that make you more confused than clarify anything. Those are the sort of thoughts that are moving through their head as it slowly seems to clear the infection up. They, however, do not regain consciousness. They seem to just be sleeping.
Inspecting the patients, is there an obvious point of entry? Like, did it look like they were stuck with something that implanted the fungus? Does it look like it was maybe a respiratory thing? Although they're all wearing gas masks.
They were supposed to be.
Yeah, just because they're supposed to be doesn't mean they were doing it.
That's true. Anyone who's ever worked a job that requires
Safety
some
equipment.
sort of safety equipment knows that there's plenty of people that completely ignore that. So, without doing like a very thorough inspection, you can't see any point of entry. All that you're doing right now is just looking them over. This is just a visual examination. Most of them, the body is under sheets. You know, they're in a bed, so you can't even see most of them. Just arms, sort of upper torso, face.
So is it even worth trying to ask this person questions?
Well,
they're
they're
unconscious.
unconscious right
I
now.
mean,
Burn a spell slot, use dreams on them.
I mean, this person is here, and I find myself in a difficult situation as a DM when you ask, is it even worth it?
well, I will
'Cause-
try. So Althus will say, you who are now feeling slightly better.
Are you going to shake them?
Yeah, are you waking them up?
I do that, right?
Yeah,
the
that's I
universal-
get. Yeah.
Could you?
You do that a few times and they hand you a glass of water.
How aggressive do you want to be in attempting to rouse them?
This is the most thought you put in any of your moves lately.
Can you make smelling salts with your knife?
No.
It's an ingredient.
Don't we have smelling salts?
No.
I don't think so.
Can I make a rotten egg?
Yeah, you could.
You,
I know I can make an egg and then make it rotten, but that takes too
yeah,
long.
you can't conjure a rotten egg using the power of your knife.
Tell you what, let's pull out the horn of blasting.
Why does that check out?
I have nines exhale closely to their nose.
Tell you what, here I take an illegal sour candy out of my bag of illegal sour candy
Okay.
and put that in their mouth.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting idea. That doesn't seem to.
I take a
Impact.
handful of illegal sour candies.
A
And see if I-
handful?
Yeah.
They'll just choke on that.
Well, are you stopping me?
I stop you.
Okay, then I stop.
You are nines. Do not do that. They will just simply choke.
I use my box of smells to make mint.
Oh, mint is a good idea.
Okay. I don't know the answer to this. Does mint have any sort of waking properties with its aroma?
I have no idea.
Because I don't really know anything about what makes up smelling salts, for example. So I don't know what's in there.
Well, I Googled it, and it just gives me information about a Linux build.
So you are nines.
What?
Well, when you put your computer to sleep, apparently there was problem happening with the Mint Linux distro. And people are having problems and asking people for help.
Oh, well, if you're having that problem, you can go online, which you can't do because you're having that problem, and fix it that way.
Well,
You
everyone
are
has a
nines.
phone now,
You
so...
are nines. Can you make skunk cabbage?
Have I seen skunk cabbage? Is that a thing I can make?
It's not really an ingredient for food consumption purposes.
Like, yeah, I'm going to say that That one doesn't qualify as food because no one's really using it anymore.
Is any
as
doctor
food or
stopping
crop.
us from clearly abusing this patient?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because, you can't make, a, deadly galernia mushroom or something. Like, poisonous. Like, actively poisonous with the knife, I assume.
Just as food.
Yeah.
And I don't know how broad you want your definition of food to be. You definitely get caloric intake from poison mushrooms.
Okay, so according...
Can I take my knockout gas and invert it so it's wake up gas?
No.
Not even on
What if I hold it upside down?
According to one article that claims to be medically reviewed by at least one doctor, some natural scents to help stimulate you include citrus, coffee, eucalyptus, ginger, rosemary, sage, and peppermint.
So my mint box might work.
So
Only if you
there's
put
at
the
least
pepper in there.
some small amount of medical writing here that indicates mint could help
What were some...
stimulate you into a...
Maybe if we mix
A
many of
waking
those things
state.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what if-
I just use my herb pouch to make a whole bunch of that and smash them up.
And I use my knife to make some pepper and I throw it at the
Yeah,
face.
and citrus.
And citrus. I put some lime juice in their eye.
What are you
So
doing?
you're basically just torturing the patient.
I'm keeping him at bay from doing it.
Nines is over there like,
Wake up!
pepper, salt, salt.
Lemon juice!
No, I stopped Nines from doing that. As I make
I think
it.
you have to roll for that.
Okay. Anti-magic check. 8.
I got a 6. So.
I push Nines away with my foot. As I make a little herb poultice to wake up this patient.
We could just look for another patient that's more conscious.
No.
Okay,
We've invested so much
know,
in that.
I'm
We
gonna
have
say-
some costs.
that given this list here, given that Nines could conjure mint, rosemary,
I can make those.
ginger, eucalyptus, coffee, and citrus from his knife.
My pouch could make everything but the coffee and the citrus.
So you can easily create all of the ingredients that are listed in this, at the very least, modestly, potentially medically reviewed, because I'm not claiming I know who any of these people are or their credentials,
Well, that's what we make that.
but it's here on a reputable site, so why don't you wake him up? Sure. The die rolled in your favor. They are now rousing.
Hi. Hi.
Ugh. What happened?
Oh, you're infected by a fungal thing.
So
What?
casual about it.
Why? I don't know.
Well,
That's how they
no.
breed, I think.
What are you... infected? Where am I?
You're in the hospital part of the temple.
Yeah, you were pretty messed up.
In temple? Why am I in a temple?
What's
You
the
work
last thing
here.
you can remember?
I don't know. I was... hitting... was hitting a tool again.
Like a pickaxe?
It's a bucket. It was a bucket, and I put something into a barrel.
Mercury?
Yeah. And I was... then I had like a bat land on me.
Well, it's a pretty bad coffee you got there.
Thanks. That was the DM, not me. It wasn't actually made for effect, but hey, that's fine. It kind of worked out, didn't it?
A bat? Did it bite you?
Did it poop in your mouth?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. It gets really hazy.
Were you not wearing your protective helmet?
I think I was, but I'm not sure.
You had mycelium running through your nervous system, so you're probably confused.
Well, I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, that doesn't sound good.
You had a fungus in your body.
Oh. Okay.
No, it was not okay.
Why?
I think
That's what we're trying to figure out.
I think it's in the caves.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible down there.
Yeah, what's it like? Can you describe it further?
It's always cold. It's always cold down there. And the air is really humid too. Every breath you take is like the worst sauna in the world. It's just cold and wet, and it stinks. Not like anything rotting. It always smells like a bathroom that should be cleaned.
Even through your breather thingy?
Well, I don't know what they were meant to filter out, but I can even smell it a bit through it, yeah. It filters up here. I'm surprised you can't smell it.
Can't we smell it?
Well, let's take off our breather thingies.
We don't have them yet.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you guys have. You'll all
They were
have
part
breather
of the
things.
disguises.
Oh, that's right. They were part of that.
Because it helps
Hide your
keep you
face.
safe. And helps hide your face.
And thankfully, they had a badger-sized one.
Yours was
Duct taped on.
duct taped on.
But I'm a badger.
Yeah.
So is
Not
badger tape.
Badger taped on.
Yeah.
Alright.
It was adhered.
Well, I guess that's
Do you-
probably
Do you guys need anything? Who are you, anyway?
where the night doctors.
Oh, okay.
Checks out.
Can I just sleep?
Yeah, was Glenby
may.
down there?
I don't know. I don't know what day it is or where or anything's at.
Have you seen any Tashira Noon?
No, what? Sharon, why?
We're just trying to get a gauge on the situation.
What situation?
Don't worry about it. Go to sleep.
Okay.
Hey, do you have any other relevant information we can get from you? Should I roll for it?
I don't touch the mercury.
Well, I know that.
Did you touch the mercury?
No, I always made sure I used the gloves.
Well, that rat touched the mercury.
I think it was a bat.
What?
It's a bat.
What rat?
And they use minor illusion to have like
Got the rat.
have a silver rat run across the ceiling.
I forgot about the silver rat. Thanks. I forgot about the silver rats.
Well, now we remember.
Well, now we need a new hill one.
All right, I don't have enough restoration slots to heal everyone here.
Why do you guys need a new one?
We lost Holland to this weird human, Chaz Pico.
Pico.
It does smell a little funky the closer we're getting to wherever we're going.
Yeah, you have heightened human senses.
No, I just have my mask off because I'm eating a sandwich.
Oh,
You should probably finish that sooner than later.
Oh, okay.
Faster!
It's done.
That was a very human way to eat a sandwich.
yeah, very normal. You could have unlocked your jaw and just like a snake. I think humans do that.
Is that what humans do?
I'm pretty sure.
Could have got the blender. Just had
It
a
seemed
just
like
have
an
a
odd
BLT
choice.
smoothie.
If they like mayo so much, why do they need to like unhinge their jaw?
The mayos, they cover their prey in mayo to help lubricate it going down the esophagus in a single piece.
Wild humans are very strange.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, there's one more door.
There is one more door at
We
the
go
end of
through
this
the one
room.
more door.
Yeah.
Because I unfortunately can't really help anyone else. I have to conserve my spell slots.
But we did.
Why are we
learn-
doing something dangerous?
Yes, we're doing wet work.
Ugh.
What? It's just work that's wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
This works that's moist right now. It's not really
You
wet
make
yet.
your way.
Isn't that wet, Jim?
You make your way down
Hope wet Jim's out here.
the length of the room to its north end, where there's one door, and there's been Grodfell soldiers sort of streaming by this whole time.
They have any cool thoughts?
Most of them passing through here just think, ugh, don't want to end up like that. And
Are they
so,
looking at the people in the hospital or looking at us?
both, I guess.
Ew. I think I think we look pretty good.
Yeah, you do.
But you walk down to the
You're
end,
very sleek.
and it's a very, very, very long room. I mean, a long ways. It's gonna take you at least 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other.
This is a long haul.
It's a very long
That's
hall.
like a mile-ish
It is.
haul.
Yeah, it's like a mile long.
It's like every step you take, you go back to or something.
Yeah.
So you have to
So-
walk backward.
It turns out we
After
just
you
went to
walk
the
this-
people movers and we're just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
After you walk down this mile long hallway, we'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. We returned from break, and when we left off, the group was just leaving the hospital area where a whole bunch of Grotfell soldier patients had been infected with what they believe to be some sort of mind-controlling fungus that they've encountered before.
As we're leaving, does any of the soldiers in the beds be like, wait a second, I have important information. I have to tell the heroes of this story.
Nope.
Not one? It's like they don't even know that we're important.
Not one.
Not one?
Nope.
Well then,
I hope this place explodes.
So you continue to follow the flow of soldiers.
down this very, 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 very long hallway.
Yes, so long it took you a full 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Mm-hmm. Now either...
Oh crap, I forgot something. We have to go back.
Okay.
We turn around.
Either it's a very long haul or you're very slow walkers.
We were slow at walking.
That checks out. We've been up all
We were practically
Day.
shuffling dead on our feet.
like, oh my god, this is our job.
Yeah.
So
Man, I worked up a real hunger doing that walking. I could sure use some mayo. Am I doing it right, guys?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
We all thumbs up.
All right. Mayo sandwiches. My human mayo sacks are empty.
Fun fact, humans have a sack for mayo, similar to how camels have a sack for water.
Yeah, is that why they have a hump
How
on
did
it?
Howen?
Yeah, that's why humans sweat mayo.
Hugo or Howen, how did you know about that? We did not tell you.
I'm just, you know,
They've been reading it.
yeah, I've just been reading up on this.
From what?
Mayo and me.
Anatomy
monthly.
book.
This book that Sori gave me at first, and then she keeps giving me pamphlets about it.
Yeah.
So you're dependent on mayo.
Well, yeah, all humans are dependent on mayo. They have...
It's a coevolution thing.
When mayo evolved into our diet.
Not our diet. We're not
Yeah,
human.
No.
Okay.
I can't wait until we visit the Great Lakes of Mayo, where all humans spawn from.
These are the ancient Mayo Lakes, believed to be the ancestral home of primordial humans.
No, they came out fully formed. They just walked out.
Yeah, the
with their,
first one to walk
arms
out.
signed.
It walked onto
T-pose.
land, and it was just like, bring me back in.
Return me to your creamy embrace. Your eggy embrace.
Slightly salty, slimy embrace.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, do we ever get down to the end of the hall?
No, we just keep talking about mayo.
You wanted me to call Dole, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, Dole?
Maybe we shouldn't do that surrounded by Grotfells.
What do you mean?
As how many of them are walking past us?
Quite a few. There's been a steady stream of soldiers.
Do they
Is
even
there like
notice us?
another broom closet?
No, there's only one other door in this area.
Hi, Mom.
I don't think
I'm
they
calling
are.
home.
Did we see other people calling home?
No, not here. No one's really resting, stopping here. It's not really the purpose of this place.
You have to have terrible
Can
reception.
you walk and talk at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
Oh, okay. We'd walk and talk, 'cause that's why it took 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got off on the Mayo tangent.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in this narrow hallway. We stretch out, so we're just one row of people, and we walk slowly.
Oh, you're those people.
Yeah. Not fast enough where like
Convenient.
it's convenient, but not slow enough where like you can safely and quickly walk by them without looking like you're impatient.
That's a real trick, getting
Yeah.
that pace down.
Yeah. But a lot of people can do it. I hate them.
Hi, Mom.
Are you calling Dole?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
I'm on the Dole desk.
Isn't it a book?
Yeah.
So you're just talking to a book right now?
Hi, Mom.
Since I'm still recovering from a cold, a different one than the cold that I had before, because it's winter, and that's what happened to me.
You better not give me this one. You gave me the last one.
Yeah, I did, but
And you're like a cult's a gift. And I'm like, that's
So
not a
here
saint.
you're all witnessing contagion. Yay. And it's not even in game.
well, hey, I've had this cold for almost a week, and I haven't gotten you sick. Old Seth?
Maybe you're immune.
Lesser
You're patient.
restoration.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, doll.
Sorry,
You can't cast a spell.
I can't do
I
anything.
think you,
You can hit me with
have
a
called the
pick.
wrong number.
No, I'm undercover right now.
Oh,
Pretending to be Grotfels.
you're doing that part of your operation.
Yeah.
Perhaps you shouldn't speak with me then.
What? But I just have a quick question.
Oh, very well.
Did you learn anything about that fungus sample we gave you like 5 months ago?
I have not had time to study it in detail, but several things became apparent. One, it is...
Congratulations to them.
It is incredibly virulent, if it were indeed a virus. But it is, to put it simply, quite easy to catch. Many filters fail to remove its presence from the air. Long-term exposure could certainly build up enough cordyceps to take the host over.
How long is long?
Several days to several weeks.
We're probably fine. Maybe.
Your body's natural defense systems, your immune response, is usually strong enough to eliminate any infection.
Even a human's immune response?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But long-term continued exposure, that's where the actual threat comes
Oh,
in.
maybe I got it.
Okay. What else can you tell us about the fungus? We're probably going to be dealing with it.
Well, not much. I haven't had a great deal of time to study.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
could you get on it like within the next 2 or 12 seconds?
thanks, doll. We're going to continue our undercover operation to blow up this place.
Good luck.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was not too helpful.
Well,
Dole
we at
said-
least know
Dole
that.
said don't catch it.
But we know that just like a quick fight, a little assassination, we're probably going to be fine.
Quickly done. So do you think that Glenby is there
Quick
with the
assassination,
fungus?
in and out.
Probably.
I wonder if she has a better,
She probably has the premium filters for rich people.
yeah, like double filtered or something.
Like, yeah. And 190. Because it's double. And N95.
Yeah, very
I did a math. Anyway,
good. Did.
what room are we in now?
That's
that
why we
the
didn't get. You did the
conversation-
math correctly, so we're just thrown off.
Yeah.
The room that you enter beyond your extremely long hospital hallway
Come on,
is
quarantine them
something
from the
that,
rest of the people.
well,
so.
everyone except Olseth recognizes quite clearly.
I seem to not recognize anything.
But
Well,
there
it's
is
not a swamp.
Yeah. Once we go into a swamp, you're our go-to guy.
Yeah.
But there is something that, very deep in your memory, Olseth. It conjures up an emotion rather than a specific memory. The room you've walked into has the unmistakable layout of a classroom. As you look around, it seems that this room has been comparatively untouched since the earthquake.
No one's learning anything new.
There is a lesson on mining safety that remains on the blackboard. So it seems that this classroom is perhaps not the exclusive purview of the youth, but one for all ages.
Oh, sorry.
The only door that exists in this room, other than the one you entered, is directly opposite you. There are a few Grotfell soldiers sitting at desks, taking some notes, although there's no one teaching, so you suspect that it's probably just record keeping.
Are there any quick tips for being safe in mines that we see on the board that we could follow when we're down there?
Yeah, give us a little advantage on our
Survival.
Yeah.
Sure. One, the biggest, most obvious safety is to always wear a protective helmet. By the sort of generic nature of these instructions, you're fairly certain this lesson wasn't created for the Grotfells, but rather other people who may be mining for the first time. You have learned that the area had a lot of mineral wealth and had mining operations all throughout the region. There's also a few other tidbits. One of them is keep a backup lighting supply. So if you have one, make sure you have two.
What if you have two? Make sure you have three then?
See, it seems like you're good at two.
Okay.
But they want you to have at least two lighting sources. They say if you hear any noises of cracking, breaking, shifting sounds in rocks, to go back the way you came as fast as you can. And they also say, never use any gaseous defensive spells. Since the spell will have the ability to linger far, far longer.
Owen, don't deploy your human smell snack down there.
My human smell snack?
Smell sack.
Oh, a smell snack? What's this?
It's a defensive thing humans do. It's like a gland.
What is it?
It's like a smelly spray they shoot out when threatened.
I thought that was a skunk thing.
No, it's like the fart shoes Zorya has, but for your butt.
Skunks stole it from humans. They stole the technology.
It's a technology?
No, I mean, it's a biological technology.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah, so
Do it.
don't deploy it down there because this board said not to.
Well, that's pretty easy. I don't have one because I'm not human.
Right, you're so convincing. I forgot.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep the mayo talk up.
Okay. Good.
Good job. Good job.
Oh, my mayo sacks. They're sore.
Humans are mostly
Maybe.
sacks.
What is a human but a miserable pile of sacks?
An ugly sack of mostly water.
A miserable pile of mayo.
Mayo sacks. Just. You're not a real American unless you get your mayo in sacks. Canadians have their milk bags. We got our mayo sacks.
Does it have to be canvas though?
I really
so
hope
leaky.
I really hope all our overseas listeners just believe this.
All right. Is there any other tips, or are we good?
The Canada milk bags is real. That is a thing that they get in Canada.
They do also have regular.
They do also
containers.
have just like regular milk
Yeah,
containers.
who cares about that?
That's boring.
So I checked some of the empty desks underneath. Is there any like gum stuck under there?
Of course there is.
Yeah, it's a classroom.
Well, yeah.
So there's gum.
Is there anything carved on the desks?
No.
Really?
Well, we better carve something.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna put Olsef was here?
No.
I just write all set. I carve in Olseth wasn't here because we're undercover.
Oh,
Put a winky face. Put a winky face emoji.
Winky face.
I go Glinvy and then go do a smiley face with one winking eye.
Why not just do
Oh, okay. So Olseth wasn't here. Glinvy
Like, was the signature?
was like the signature. Is that what you're doing?
No, somebody's just got a thing for Glinvy.
Oh,
you're
okay. So
You're
they're
trying to play matchmaker like we did in
It's like their
November.
crush.
Glinvy in a heart.
Yeah.
Like a little heart, and it says Glinvy, and then there's a winking.
But who's in love with Glinvy?
Whoever,
know. That's-
whoever carved it. Olseth, apparently.
Yeah. Who wasn't even here.
Who wasn't even here, so it couldn't have been Olseth.
I mean, usually when you like put someone's name in a heart, you'll like put your initial on there or something.
No, this is anonymous because of the power structures. Mm-hmm. It's a forlorn, it's like an unattainable love.
Because
Very tragic.
because they're so far down in the power structure.
Yeah,
Yeah, anybody in this classroom would be.
And they love their boss that much.
yeah.
They're super boss.
They work for a different dragon family. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but worse.
Wait, how do they work for a different dragon family, but they're here?
They're a corporate spy.
They specifically chose this family to get into Glinvy.
Yeah.
So now they've been like feeding wrong information back to this family because they love Glinvy so much.
Yeah. This is getting spicy.
But if Glinvy ever found out, of course, like she'd have them killed because they're a spy.
Yeah, but they're in
So-
love.
They like the danger. That's one of the most
Exciting things.
exciting parts about this.
Wow. So detailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
We're
pretty
detail
amazing.
It's
oriented
all
group.
in that heart.
Yeah.
The whole story.
It's
you
the
can
way
see.
it's.
It's so
You have to
finely
read
etched.
between
It's
the
actually just like the heart isn't a solid line. It's incredibly fine print writing.
Good job, also.
I put a new rule on mining tips on there
yeah.
that says, do not under any circumstances follow a vanishing badger in the mines. You know, in case they're chasing us.
Yeah,
They'll be
yeah.
like, there's a vanishing badger, and the board said don't follow them.
That's dumb enough where I'm gonna allow it.
I mean, I can write it on there, so
Well, yeah, you
it's nothing
can.
stopping me.
Yeah.
Except maybe my
Height.
literacy
Yeah.
and my height. I can drag a chair over there.
You have Holwyn do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're your manager. They,
Holwyn
they gotta do
lifts
that.
them.
Hillman picks me up and I write it.
Yeah, because he's a big boy.
I'm a big boy. And while they're doing other stuff, I'm going to draw on the chalkboard. Is it a chalkboard or is it like one of the whiteboards?
Yeah, it's a blackboard. Yeah.
It's blackboard.
All right. Is there another door out?
No one
Yes.
our under 6 demographics not going to know what a blackboard is.
Our under
like a
6
whiteboard,
demographic might
yeah.
not even know what a whiteboard is.
Yeah.
It's like a digital display,
Because these
For
days,
analog stuff.
but really old.
Get the stick of white stuff. It's like
Chalk. It's called
yeah.
chalk.
I know, but I'm trying to describe
I wasn't sure if you knew.
to people who don't know what it is. It's chalk, but it's a long. It looks like a crayon. But
Kids
it's
still draw chalk on the pavement.
with white
Do
chalk.
they?
All sorts of colors.
oh yeah, they still love like sidewalk chalk is still a thing.
Okay, well, you take the chalk and you write on a piece of wall.
Teachers used to put that on the wall. Isn't that wild?
So we
I
have,
mean, you might still like a chalkboard might still be around, but you know what is dying very quickly? That it was ubiquitous for all of us here. Overhead projectors,
Oh yeah,
Yep.
transparencies.
the transparencies.
Yeah, the 8.5 by 11 transparency.
When
that
you got the job,
always, which
to-
you had to put on upside down and backward, otherwise it would.
Oh well, when we went to school, they'd worked out the optics so that you put it on in a way that makes sense to you.
Oh well, lucky you.
yeah, then you could write on it.
Then you could write on it,
We
I see
had-
the
and it would
answers.
project.
Well, you still could. You just had to write upside down and backward.
Yeah,
What
but we
about-
could just write,
And
you know,
some
just
of the
like we normally
teachers
would
could
normal
actually
script.
do that.
what about the substitute TV cart?
Oh wow, yeah, the big CRT cart. Mm-hmm. Before, now they just put a TV in the room. But we used to have, you know, the multimedia carts
Yeah.
when you saw
that had
that,
a laser
You
disc
knew
on
your
them.
teacher was sick.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
saw
when you saw that the teacher was sick and you had a sub for the day, and everything was going to go pretty smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the days.
Yeah, did you have film strips?
No.
briefly.
Very brief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. We had a couple of the things that we watched still were on film.
One time we watched something on Laserdisc.
Oh, we watched a lot of things on Laserdisc.
Yeah, you might have been the only place in the world that still had operating Laserdisc.
Yeah, we're rich
coming
enough to
back.
get
They're
Laserdiscs
coming
at the
back.
time,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
poor enough not to replace them when it was
Laserdiscs
appropriate.
were still a supported media into the 90s.
Yeah.
And they were still making new games on Laserdisc and putting out new films on Laserdisc into the 90s, and we were in the school in the 90s.
So
So,
there.
They're gonna make a comeback.
yeah.
I have
So,
a lot of stock invested.
If you've got a Laserdisc player,
This is,
hold on to it because you never know.
man, this was the greatest tangent that I never expected to go down. Just talking about how old we are. Hey, kids. Don't you love how old we
We're
are?
cool too. We know all the talks.
The what?
The talks. The tick and talks. Sorry, I couldn't get through that with a straight face.
I can't get through anything with a straight face. This went on a complete tangent.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's what happens when you get into a classroom.
Yeah. Anyway, you leave some
Nice.
notes.
You're very nice.
You carve
Do you know how to make a spitball?
you carve a love story
Yeah.
into the desk,
And then we head through the door.
and then you head through the door. As you go through this last door, you pass through a hallway, at the end of which is the other side, you're fairly certain, of the pile of rubble you'd encountered earlier. Going through the rest of that hall, you make your way back to the grand hall that runs the central length of the temple. In this area, there are a great many Grotfell soldiers toiling away. There's a trove of barrels, easily a dozen deep, stashed away in the corners and the edges of this room. They are mostly pushed up against the western wall, which is opposite of where you have entered. Since the barrels look so familiar, you're fairly certain that they are indeed filled with mercury at this point, and that a separate, smaller pile of barrels, nearer what you now notice to be a very large hole in the northwestern corner of this room, are being lowered down, a few barrels at a time on a platform, using a fairly simple crane.
It's a crane. A bird.
There are...
Can you do the thing, the crane pose?
Not sitting down.
Oh, you could turn into a crane.
Yeah, that one raises the question.
Can you turn into this specific crane?
No. This one's mechanical.
There are also a set of stairs that descend into the cavern, and you observe quite a few soldiers going up and down them, carrying on with whatever business they have. I'll reveal the map after you... Here we are. Traveled through quite a bit. You began over here. That's the hospital area. On the far eastern, moving west, you have this classroom where you've carved your love note to Glenvy and made a note about vanishing badgers.
Yes, and how you should not follow them in the cave.
The collapsed hallway and then into a grand hall once again. Over here on the farthest western wall from your entrance is where most of the full barrels are. There are many soldiers staging a bunch of these barrels onto small carts, and you've seen them, as I described in our last session, the occasional small little hand cart, basically, moving 3 to 4 barrels at a time. And it's basically just a stream of soldiers moving it through.
We do the little head.
Oh yeah, we did that to the people.
Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Sup?
hey.
So, hey,
Mayo.
Good mayo today. Good mayo.
Is that what the humans say to each other?
That's what Holwyn's saying to everyone.
Are they responding back?
No?
Not one person will like good mayo, and then they like do the fist bump thing. Just
Yeah, sure. You know what? One person just goes, you get a fist bump. That's right.
Were they human?
No. They're just confused by a human talking about mayo a lot.
what's confusing about that?
They've never talked to a human before.
Could be.
it might be a
Not
novel
sure.
experience.
Have we ever talked to a human? Coromouth. Yeah, okay. Let's
He would not shut up about mayo.
Which makes us
Even
even
more a mayo soup.
which makes it even stranger because
Why do you think
I
it's-
did make it clear that Coromouth and Holwyn were friends.
Yeah.
You're missing the human fuzzy thing under the nose.
Oh,
The
well,
mayo
I
stash?
know that is something that I can't do.
With your illusion spell? Oh, it's a disguise. You're just wearing
Yeah,
a
it's
disguise.
just a disguise.
Was Coromount's suit white because of all the mayo?
I think so.
That makes
It was
sense.
it was a tribute to mayo.
Yeah, it's like I, as a human,
Love man.
love mayo.
Yeah. That explains
Alright.
the color.
Well, let's head down. Or do
Are we
you
going to
want
try to sabotage?
Oh, we could sabotage.
Oh, how tall, how high are these barrels stacked?
Some as high as 3, but not many. Most of them aren't stacked at all.
Should we tell them they should stack them higher and then knock it over?
Or just knock it over now?
Well, we,
I could.
we could mix in some explosive barrels.
Let us not waste our explosives. I could tie a rope to the bottom of one of them.
Well, it'd probably be faster to sabotage the crane so they can't get more up.
Oh, good thinking, Badger.
No, that was the player.
Oh,
Nice
good
as-
thinking, Badger player. All right, so
We examine the crane for weak spots.
Well, not next to the crane. They might get suspicious.
We just look. We're checking out. We're in awe at the operation of the crane.
Just walk up and be like, crane inspectors.
No.
but your
Just-
favorite thing is posing as random inspectors. You've done it like 5 times.
Use your disguise spell to make a thing that says crane inspector name tag.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to be the
So
is there
you're
a
just
crane?
No one's going to believe a badger's a crane inspector.
you're just
Is there
standing back looking at the crane.
Is there a crane operator at this level? Or does it look like
yeah.
it's...
So I want to be clear. This is a crane in the simplest sense of the term.
It's
It's
a rope on a pulley?
It's a rope on a pulley with an arm that can pivot.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Like-
still.
It's a crane. By like our understanding definition of crane, it is one, but it's calling the like an operator. It's a stretch.
So is it just for
there's-
the barrels or just some of the grotfields right on the...
No, it seems like it's just for barrels. There's no grotfells going on this. They all are using the stairs.
Yeah. Is it
Well,
just-
is it one of those? They operate it by like being in essentially a giant hamster wheel.
No, that is not how they operate.
Is it just a turn winch?
It seems like there's enough rope and counterweight that when you load this with objects, it is neutrally weighted, so you just move the rope through the pulley so that the ropes aren't moving, things aren't sliding around. And the arm, you just push it with your hand. It's just a pivot.
No, we'll just have him
Like-
shoot the counterweight off.
Yeah, or I could enlarge a barrel that's on it and it'll suddenly weigh 8 times as much.
We can do both plans at the same time.
But it might be a little obvious.
what, when a barrel is 8 times larger than it was?
Well, it's only twice as large.
Yeah, but 8 times the volume.
Yeah.
So that is a good idea. You could do that.
But I need to be stealthy about it.
Well, yeah.
So
Meanwhile, if we just shoot the bow with a magic arrow that vanishes,
do the arrows vanish?
they're magic.
No. They don't vanish. When Holwyn fires their bow, it's infused with whatever property. They have like a little like selector button. It's just infused with property.
So here is an idea. One of us can go to the rope handler and say, "You who are handling the rope," or something else, that sort of thing. The boss wants to see you. I will take over while you are gone.
But then you'll get blamed.
Yeah, and then you'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Not if they don't catch me.
Well, but we still have to get down and through, and
Is there-
we're
is
getting
there an
chased the whole time.
Is there a infected rat around here?
So just like a regular old rat?
Yeah, there's a regular rat.
Sure, why not?
So as we're going down the stairs, how close to the rope are we?
The rope of the crane? I mean, it started fairly close. The stairs are just a few feet away, but the crane, that dangles out over the pit, and the stairs kind of stick to the side of the wall, and they're fairly steep. They're those sort of stairs where,
Not OSHA compliant.
yeah, you gotta turn around and like go down them backwards. They're not quite as steep as a ladder, but they're definitely
Like
steeper.
like a ship's ladder.
Yeah.
which
You
we-
gotta,
With which we're now familiar because we've been on ships.
correct.
We know boats.
We can have a rat gnaw on it. We don't have to be around for that.
That's
We just
right.
have to bribe a rat.
Yeah, you could put bacon on the rope.
Then we have to get close to the rope. We can just cut the rope if we can't that close.
So how will you bait the rope?
And you just bribe the rat with cheese. I assume rats like cheese.
No.
You've been a rat before.
Most
What do
rat-
rats like to eat?
Almost all animals are actually lactose intolerant when they're adults.
Yeah, what about fantasy rats?
Yeah, those two.
Now, they're lactose intolerant, but so are a lot of humans, and those humans still have milkshakes because milkshakes are delicious.
Yeah.
Don't rats probably have the same thing?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna fart a lot, but
Yeah.
I like
That's all
cheese. Okay. Well, what plan do you want to do to break the rope?
Well, why don't we could.
We could do it from the bottom.
You're super stealthy and super strong, well, Seth. Why don't you just take this adjustable wrench I have and loosen the bolts? And then when they put weight on it, it'll just break itself when we're not around.
Oh, sure. I will do a sneaky thing. And I will turn invisible.
Hurry, it's heavy.
Okay,
For
So
one
you're
turn.
you can undo it
so
in 6 seconds?
just explain exactly what you're trying to do,
Well,
because
Seth-
I'm a little confused.
So, okay, I assume it's a post with an arm, right? And
yeah,
a pulley on the end.
yeah.
I assume that post is somehow fixed to like some sort of floor or structure to maintain it, or at least the counterweight is like bolted or some sort of
Yeah, a typical construction for something like this would be to have a long shaft that goes into a sleeve, and then at some point on that sleeve, you'd have a pin that goes through both the sleeve and the shaft, not the other side, that ensures that now it can't go up and down or slip out or anything like that. And it wouldn't necessarily be incredibly tightly secured because it doesn't really need to be. It just needs to not come out this way. So there'll be like a little cotter pin or something that gets hammered through on the other side of this large.
How is the counterweight secured?
The counterweight is like on the rope.
Oh, it's just like a weight on the end of the rope.
Yeah.
It's there to provide the occasional necessary counterbalance so that when
So
you're
when
moving something on pulley, it doesn't go woo through.
So so that they're equal distances when the platform with the barrels is at the top, the counterweight would be down at the very bottom of the shaft.
Yeah, and there's just a pulley system that it wraps around through, and then there's one counterweight.
I can cut the rope at the bottom when people would.
Just don't cut it the whole way.
No,
Cut
no.
it.
Yeah.
So there's like a little.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like.
I will just pass by it. Just pass by it at the bottom. Maybe I'll even pick up a barrel. That could be. I could pick up a barrel, and be helping load the platform. And as I walk by, I'll slice the rope 79% of the way through. I'm very precise.
Okay. What implement do you want to use to cut that rope?
Dagger.
Yeah, I could just use my dagger.
And how do you plan on cutting it? I'm not against this plan. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to stop you, but I am trying to understand what you think can happen, because this is like a thick rope. Mm-hmm. So a casual the dagger just glided right across, like that can't work. So you're gonna have to take some time to work a blade through thick, heavy, rope. So you can do this.
That's a very sharp dagger.
Unless it is, like a quantum filament, I'm fairly certain that you're going to need to work the rope a little bit.
For maybe 6
Well,
seconds.
I'd say probably... Having cut rope, I used to work at a big chain hardware store. And one of the things we had to do is cut rope. Mm-hmm. And to accomplish that, we had a heated blade.
You have a heated blade.
I have a heated blade.
How about this?
And it would become
That would be totally unnoticed.
How-
very hot. And what you would do is pull it down through that. It would, on the nylon ropes, works wonders. Unlike hempen rope,
No, it would smolder.
it
How about
doesn't
this?
really work so well. So what you would then
so
have
the
to
DM
do...
is saying that I
Here.
cannot cut the rope.
I'm not...
I
want to... Hang on. I want to be clear. I am not saying you
It's
can't
just gonna
cut the
take
rope.
time.
I am saying that you need to think this through, because walking by and just going, ooh, dagger, is going to do nothing to a heavy, sturdy work rope.
Take this. I have an old oil lamp full of oil, lamp oil even, and have it accidentally spill it on the crane. I can use my druid craft to ignite it from 30 feet away.
I can do it from 90 feet away.
You can do it from 90 feet?
Yeah,
Is it?
I have
Okay.
my firebolt. Now I can do it from 120 feet
Well, that shoots a bolt of fire, so that's fairly obvious, right?
if people are looking.
Druid craft just ignites it.
Oh, well then you can do that.
So, because I can ignite a candle, torch, or campfire, it says. So I assume
Okay.
I could use that to
I will-
ignite some
I'll
oil.
use the oil. What I'll do is, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up a barrel and say, here, let me help you with that. And then I might even move like a couple, just to make it look like
Yeah.
we load it
It
up.
really
it
help
goes
those
up,
guys out moving
It
that
goes
mercury.
up, and then it comes back down and loads. So I'll do that twice. Okay. And on the third time, I'll trip. After I set the barrel down, I'll trip off the edge of the platform and bump into the rope. And I'll spill oil on the platform and the rope.
Okay, so the wood platform it's on and the rope.
And
Is it
don't
some-
ignite it right away. We'll go up and then comes back down and I'll load it again and walk away, and then that's when you ignite it.
Okay.
Execute.
That's the plan.
We're spilling oil on a lamp sneakily. We're
Okay.
spilling oil on the
platform with
crane.
the rope.
Is that like a performance check?
I think it's enough.
To being convincing. That's up to the DM.
I think it's an athletics check because I have to be able to act like I'm
Stumbling.
I'm gonna
and
inspire
not
you
stumble-
because
not stumble, but look like I'm out of control, and I bump into the rope and the platform, and stuff will
I
spill.
think they'll still blame you if you do that.
Well, he's going to get blamed no matter what. I mean, your plan revolves around him causing a visible accident. So he's going to get blamed no matter what.
Yeah.
But that is a very good argument for it to be athletics, and I concur with it, given what you're trying to do and the skill set that you're trying to use to accomplish that. I'll let you roll an athletics check to see how well this works.
Okay. And after I do that, I'll apologize and say, oops, I'm sorry, I slipped. But I will help load 3 more loads after that before it gets on fire.
Maybe we should just use suggestion to convince the guard to just take our lamp and just put it near the thing.
This is fine.
No, so,
Are you sure?
We gotta tire out Ulsa so he sleeps well tonight.
Nah, that's true. I'm inspiring Olsef because some part of this plan should be inspired.
Yeah, they're gonna need it somewhere in there.
I love that it's some part of this plan should be inspired, because this plan definitely isn't inspired.
Hey!
Yeah, it is. Is it a D10 now?
Great question. It is a D10 now.
All right. And I have luck.
You're right. Why did I use my bardic inspiration? You have luck.
Well, that just lets me roll again.
So we're
Okay.
doing this plan.
Yep.
Execute.
Execute. Okay. First, I want to double check how many barrels did you want to load before you start to purposely screw up?
2.
2.
And on the third one, I'll purposely screw up, and then I'll load 3 more.
Okay. Is there anything you want to attempt to learn or gain insight from these barrels?
You can see it and double check the content while you're moving them.
Make sure it's full. You can't tell by weight.
I'll just make sure it's full. I'll
They're,
say, oh, this one does not feel heavy enough.
Oh, it's
they're
just
not
because I'm so
exactly-
strong and it feels like an empty barrel.
they're not exactly brimming full, which you've seen, because they're sloshing around. They don't have that.
Well, we're familiar with these
Yeah, yeah.
barrels. We know they're full of mercury.
So,
And
this
so
seems
we
to...
don't. I don't
seems
know
to
that
check
there's
out.
anything more we need to learn.
Just want to make sure you guys have the chance. Go ahead and roll your athletics check.
Just use the luck.
Well, I'll definitely use lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my!
What are you doing?
Oh God!
Using inspiration.
18. That was sad.
Out of curiosity, how much of that 18 was the inspiration?
5.
And what's your skill in athletics?
Plus 8.
So you rolled well, is what you're saying.
Oh yes.
Okay. Given how skillful you naturally are at being athletic,
I am
And
really
that-
skillful.
at least one part of this plan was inspired. You do manage to, get oil all over the rope and some on the platform and everything. Although, it doesn't go quite as well as you'd hoped, and you do actually kind of take a spill with it.
Do I take landing badly on my head damage?
No, but you end up spilling basically a barrel of mercury all over the floor.
Oh.
Now someone's gonna have to clean this up.
So you genuinely took a tumble and spilled all the mercury.
But I wasn't going to stumble until after I put the barrel on the
There's a
platform.
lot of
This isn't the
barrels.
plan.
I knocked over a barrel.
Yeah.
Well, you skipped a step.
Yeah.
That's efficiency.
Okay.
I mean, you succeeded. It just also came with some other effects.
Well,
What was the general reaction of the people in there? Just like, not again.
Pretty much, yeah.
no, not again. Yeah.
Like, this is clearly not the first time that this has happened.
overworked, tired.
And they don't expect it to be the last. But no one's happy about it.
Is there any?
Except Jeb over there, just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh man, I get to clean some mercury.
Yeah.
Gotta get
And
it all over my hands.
And everybody else, actually,
Jeb's
everybody
over there
should-
just like,
everybody should be happy because while they're cleaning it up, they have to rest because they can't keep loading.
No, instead of
one-
resting, they have to clean the mess up.
no one bothers cleaning this up.
Oh, well, that's nice.
That's not
Great.
sanitary.
No. Does it just sort of soak into the ground or just sort of lay there in a puddle?
It's just sort of like congealed into several puddles, large puddles.
Okay. Well, then I load 3 more barrels, just like the original plan.
Okay, you
Quick,
do that.
take our bucket of rats and dump into the mercury.
What bucket of rats?
Don't we have a bucket of
No.
rats? Why don't we have a bucket of rats? We never know when we may need a
Did
bucket
you-
of rats.
You count how many loads have happened.
No, I don't know what you're doing. I've been watching. I've been looking at this mercury.
Are you getting lost in the mercury? You're just like,
No, I'm just looking at it.
Okay. Well,
don't touch the
I
mercury.
look over at Zoria.
Yeah,
Are you gonna wink? Be like, plan's working.
I just go.
you're wearing a mask.
I do
We did the
head
nod.
Oh, you do the nod. Okay, I do it back.
Okay.
It's like everyone just start doing the nod. Like,
Okay. Well, you knew the plan.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Is the plan ready, Ulsa?
Don't
What?
can we just set the rope
Time
on?
reverses.
I love you guys.
Can we set the rope on fire now?
Yeah, when we need to start heading down first.
Okay. Well, we get 30 feet away.
As I'm about to leave 30 feet from the platform, as we're heading down the stairs,
Yeah.
that's when I use my druidcraft and go. I do a little
Nice.
flame on
Okay.
over my shoulder.
You start hearing a lot of screaming upstairs, and a whole bunch of Grotfell soldiers start running around to stop, everything from burning.
Did they slip on the mercury?
No, the mercury, that quickly just flowed out of the way.
See, they're used to this. They have a
I mean-
channel that spilled mercury. Just
I don't know how often you've seen mercury move, but I had here's another tangent because we haven't gone on enough of those this episode. I once had a small house fire started by a roommate, and the home insurance that we had on the property paid for it, and we
they
were
paid for the repairs.
Paid
not
for the
fire,
repairs.
right?
Yeah, no, sorry, no. They paid for the repairs, and we needed to have a couple of fixtures replaced, which I'm perfectly capable of replacing a light fixture, but it's the insurance company. They want it done their way, so we paid our deductible, and then, they got it done their way. So we had an electrician in there. And this electrician was I'd probably say in his somewhere between mid-40s to mid-50s range. And this was, at this point, now about 15 years ago. So we're talking 2009-ish, 2008, somewhere in there. And as he was repairing one of these light fixtures, it was a kitchen fire, oil. And
How topical.
How topical. He took down the light, was replacing things. I was just in the kitchen and getting myself something to eat before I had to go to class. I was in college. And he started making some small talk, I guess, just to be sociable. And it made its way to compact fluorescent lights which we didn't really have LEDs widely available at this time. So everyone was using whatever was left of incandescent and the compact fluorescents.
Which are those little...
Yeah, those are the
swirly
curly
ones.
Q bulbs. And there's a thing with the compact fluorescents, and indeed all fluorescents have some quantity of mercury in them.
The
Because
mercury vapor lamps with a little fluorescence coating on the inside of the tube.
yeah, and that's how they work. There's some small amount of mercury in there. And there had just been an EPA advisory to, properly dispose of your compact fluorescent bulbs. We shouldn't just throw them away in the landfill. Like, it actually is a problem with those bulbs. And this guy started griping about it and then said, I don't know what the big deal is. When I was young, I played with all sorts of mercury things. I used to just play with it and poke it around and stuff. It's fun. Here, I still got some.
He just happens to carry some.
He didn't have it with him, but this was the very early days of being able to take video on your phone. And he'd taken a video of, I'm assuming, himself and his grandkid or kid playing with mercury, and was showing it to me, and I was like, what the hell? And
Wait, my insurance sent you?
yeah, that's what I thought. So, talking about mercury and how it moves, it really does, it just wants to
Oh yeah, it just flows
spread.
over everything.
It just flows over everything.
Every surface is like a super Teflon surface.
Yeah.
So would you like another true mercury story?
Oh, well, we've already had one tangent. Why not a second one?
This is a true mercury story. So this is a grade school thing, maybe like 5th grade or something.
Sorry, is so bored right now.
I've heard this story. I was there for the first story. I've heard this one. So.
Yeah, you've heard it. So you can just doze off
Okay.
now. You can take a short rest while I talk.
I'll use my wild shape twice so I can get it back during
for
the
some reason, the nun who's teaching this class managed to get this big blob of mercury. Is probably the size of a silver dollar, if anybody knows what that is.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, pretty big in a box. So
Yeah.
it just flowed all. It doesn't get anything wet. It just is blobbing around.
Yeah.
And so it was, hey kids, come look at this. And so a bunch of the kids came in. They poked it and it turned into smaller blobs because it does that. And then they'd be coalesce. They were having a great old time poking the mercury. And back at that time, coins were still made out of silver. Dimes, quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pennies and nickels, no, but the dimes were. And I don't know if you know this, but mercury adheres to silver.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was, watch this. And they put a dime in the mercury and it made it incredibly shiny. But now we had a mercury coated dime. Well,
Wow.
being the Boy Scout I was, I went, that stuff is really poisonous. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
I'm sure that made the nun happy.
No, she just said, don't worry about it. He, just scaring you. And I walked away and they just all kept playing with the mercury, getting whatever.
Perfect.
It did coat the dime though. It made it very, very shiny.
I was looking at a video of people playing with mercury, and the comment section is just full of people talking about how they love playing with mercury as a child and probably as adults.
So, this session ends with some horrifying stories of people being idiots with an incredibly toxic metal.
And a
Yeah.
workplace accident.
And a workplace
workplace
accident.
That was not an accident.
Actually, a workplace accident and a workplace sabotage. But
Well, actually, it was a
No.
workplace sabotage and an accident. He
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
mean to do
Yeah.
the spilling of the barrel.
Good job.
no, that was the accident.
Yeah.
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 The starting it on fire was.
Intentional.
That was a workplace sabotage.
It was.
Nice.
It was. It made to appear accidental. I mean, not the flame, but the
Yeah.
spilling.
But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, but it sure looked like it was an accident, especially since it was embellished with a real accident.
Yeah.
That was very convincing.
Tangent aside,
See?
worry not. We wouldn't have gone any further anyway because I wanted to end the session with them setting something on fire because that's always a good way to end. So,
And
you-
Nines didn't do it.
And
I
that's,
volunteer.
Don't worry not. You wouldn't have gotten any more session anyway.
and this is
Just
where
gonna
we
end there.
this is where we enter into. It looks like on the map.
You do. I put this up here a few minutes ago. It's a little preview. You're getting into the actual caves under the temple. And when we come back next week, I'll describe what you descend down into. So, in the meantime, one final message. As we were recording this episode today, which is not the usual day that we record, because I took a little bit longer to recover from this cold that I'm still dealing with, I want to give a special shout out to a very good friend of our show who has indeed been on here a couple times. And on the day we're recording this, he has a new child just born today. So, congratulations.
You did it, buddy.
Good
Everyone
job.
else, stay safe. We love you.
What do you mean for everyone else? Stay safe.
Wait a minute. I mean, everyone do that.
Including him and his child.
Yeah, because that was a message just for him.
How about just say, everyone be safe?
No one be safe except him.
Unless don't play with Mercury.
Don't. Just don't. No matter how much fun it might seem.
Well, that was a wonderfully fumbled message.
Well,
We love you.
We love you. Don't play with Mercury. Bye.